We don't have to tell you Better Call Bankin' gets results. You tell us.
If you're smart, you'll call Bankin'. She did in 2 days what took me 6 months.
Better Call Bankin'. Weekdays at 5, only on NewsChannel 8. Live, this is NewsChannel 8 at 7 on your side.
Good evening, I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, Tampa police released footage of a weekend shooting near Sparkman Wharf involving a reserve officer. The video was captured from a trolley passing by on Saturday night. You can't see much, but you can hear the gunshots.
Are you okay to walk?
That shooting is raising safety concerns ahead of tomorrow's New Year's Eve celebrations. Large crowds are expected across the city of Tampa. News Channel 8's Nicole Rogers explains how police plan to protect partygoers. Another potential port strike is looming. Back in October, the International Longshoremen's Association went on strike for 3 days, temporarily paralyzing 36 ports along the east and Gulf coasts. Those ports, including the Port of Tampa Bay, reopened days after a tentative deal was reached, but it only goes until January 15th. As 8 on Your Side investigator Brittany Muller shows us, that was to give both sides more time to negotiate. Some really unbelievable video of a tornado forming in Brookhaven, Mississippi. A powerful storm system moving across the southeast has caused a number of tornadoes over the past few days. On Saturday alone, there were more than 24 preliminary and confirmed tornadoes across Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. And at least 4 people have died because of those storms. For the past week, flight delays and cancellations have caused headaches for thousands of holiday travelers. At last check about 30 minutes ago, there have been 175 delays and 1 cancellation at TPA. This morning, a thick blanket of fog covered the area, and airport officials say that may have caused some of those delays. Over the weekend, roughly 50% of flights were delayed coming in and out of TPA. Most of the delays were due to that severe weather in parts of the South and Midwest. Let's get a check on your Max Defender 8 forecast right now with meteorologist Rebecca Berry. We saw a lot of fog this morning, and that may be a repeat scenario tomorrow, right?
Absolutely. In fact, we're already seeing some of those reduced visibilities along our coastline. The fog hasn't made it across the bay to Marina Point yet. We're still looking pretty clear, but our St. Pete Beach camera is just all gray from that sea fog creeping in. Our temperatures are still mild, though. We're in the low 70s at Marina Point. We will start to work our way pretty slowly down into the 60s overnight tonight. And as we start to see those 60s pop on the map, that's when we'll start to see those visibilities decreasing. In fact, we're under a dense fog advisory through 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, expecting sea fog to continue to creep on shore, reducing visibilities to half a mile or less in most locations. Tampa and St. Pete will probably be one of the clearer locations overnight because we're surrounded by the warmer waters there of the Gulf. But you can see by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're starting to see some improvements in visibility. Clearer skies in Lakewood Ranch and Sarasota, but not so much in Lakeland and Bartow just yet, nor Zephyr Hills or Brooksville, still seeing those half mile or less visibilities. But by 10 a.m., those visibilities are crystal clear, and we're in for some sunshine and more mild temperatures. But it is our last mild day, so enjoy it while it lasts. We're sitting in the low 70s right now for the most part, a couple of isolated upper 60s. We've got a dry, cold front headed our way, and once it does, that starts to eliminate our fog and it also starts a cool down. It's the first of a series of dry, cold fronts that plunges us into the 40s by the weekend, so about a 20-degree difference between tonight and a Friday night. We're getting down into the mid-60s tonight. We'll get down into the mid-40s by Friday. Here's what you're waking up to: upper 50s in Crystal River, low 60s in Brooksville and Newport Richey. Elsewhere, we're seeing mid-60s tomorrow morning, and we're headed into those upper 70s and low 80s once the fog lifts. We'll take a look at that impending cool down hour by hour coming up next.
Thank you, Rebecca. It has been an uphill battle for Madeira Beach residents looking to start rebuilding after hurricanes this summer. Today, residents who still need permits took their concerns directly to city leaders. As News Channel 8's Jeff Patterson explains, many of them did not get the answers they were hoping for. Straight ahead, President-elect Donald Trump was handed a loss today in court, but he's not done fighting. Plus, an update in the death of singer Liam Payne. 5 people are facing charges. We have the details after the break. Former President Jimmy Carter will be laid to rest next to his wife in Plains, Georgia. He served as the nation's 39th president. However, his lifelong work outside of the Oval Office is what captured the hearts of so many. Reporter Jesse Tenor has more on his legacy from Washington. A spokesperson for President-elect Donald Trump says he plans to file another appeal after a federal appeals court upheld writer E. Jean Carroll's $5 million civil judgment. Trump appealed the 2023 verdict that found him liable for sexual assault and defamation. His lawyers argued the judge should not have allowed jurors to see certain witness testimony and evidence. However, today's ruling found that Trump failed to show the judge made any errors which would warrant a new trial. U.S. transportation regulators will help South Korean authorities determine what caused a plane carrying 181 people to crash. Of those passengers, only 2 survived. The passenger plane touched down without lowering its landing gear and skidded down a runway before crashing into a concrete barrier wall. South Korean authorities have suggested a bird strike or poor weather may have caused that accident. 5 people are facing charges in connection with the death of singer Liam Payne. Payne, a former member of One Direction, fell from the 3rd floor balcony of his hotel room in Argentina. Argentinian prosecutors say Payne's manager and 2 hotel workers are charged with manslaughter. Another hotel employee and a local waitress were also charged and have been placed in jail before the trial. They're accused of supplying the musician with drugs.
I'm Made in Your Sight consumer investigator Shannon Bankin. The Federal Consumer Protection Bureau has sued Zelle and 3 major banks. Coming up, I'll show you what this lawsuit alleges.
Max Defender 8, the most accurate weather radar in Florida.
Peer-to-peer payment platform Zelle and 3 of the nation's largest banks have been sued by the federal government. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau claims Americans have lost hundreds of millions of dollars due to poor safeguards on the payment platform. Consumer investigator Shannon Bankin explains.
Max Defender 8, the most accurate weather radar in Florida.
Taking a look over our Winters and Yonker camera, it's just beautiful and quiet over Bayshore Boulevard, and the visibilities are clear right now. This will not be how this camera looks when you wake up tomorrow morning. We're expecting some widespread areas of fog. We're under dense fog advisory through 10 a.m., and we're in a very quiet weather pattern until this cold front arrives, and that's late New Year's Eve night into early New Year's Day. It's a dry cold front. You see no showers out ahead of it, so we're not looking at a big chance for rain, but it will bring down some cooler, drier air, and it's the first of many dry cold fronts headed our way over the next couple of days that's going to lower our temperatures as we head into the weekend. But for tonight, enjoy the mild temperatures while they last. We've got a light breeze, the fog moving in, especially by midnight. The sun rises at 7:20 for a foggy start in the mid-60s. But once we start to warm into those upper 60s, the fog will lift. It makes for a really nice day after that. By your noon hour, we're in those mid-70s with partly cloudy skies. Some sunshine for the afternoon hours pumps us into those upper 70s and low 80s, much like we saw this afternoon. So let's walk through your hour-by-hour forecast. We've got a small chance for an inland shower this evening, but I just checked Max Defender 8. Nothing really boiling out there right now. To move in from our coastal zones, eventually over our inland zones late tonight, early tomorrow morning. And so a lot of times when we have heavier fog, this is what our forecast model shows, some just light areas of rain. I don't expect that light rain now as the fog does start to mix out and lift during the morning hours. Once we start that warm up, you may see some sprinkles or you just get a lot of moisture on your car, that sort of thing parked outside. But as far as the fog goes, it'll stick around through about 8:39 a.m. is when you'll notice a difference in the fog, clearing out by 10. And so we do appear overcast at first, but that's just the fog lifting and eventually mixing out. And then we have partly cloudy skies. We're in for a nice warm afternoon again. We hit those mid-70s by your lunch hour. Now we do have a 20% chance for showers tomorrow, just an isolated shower right in the middle of the day. I am not worried about showers in times for fireworks celebrations. And so for the last day of 2024, we're going to top out in those upper 70s, maybe even some low 80s or Grady's as we like to call them. This is 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Really nice mild evening for all the celebrations going on around town. This is 8 o'clock as we break into the 60s. And as we head towards midnight, you can see the change in wind direction here. That's the front pushing through. So the front doesn't make it to us by midnight. So we do have a possibility of a little bit of sea fog and some clouds, but I don't think it's going to be anything that would be interrupting your New Year's Eve celebrations. The front clears us by 6 a.m. on Wednesday. We've got the northerly breeze, and that's colder, drier air plunging us into the 50s. And so we don't really warm up much during the first day of 2025 on Wednesday. Sunday. We spend most of the day in the 60s, briefly hitting that 70-degree mark. Then we see some clouds surging back in. So not much of a chance for rain over the next 5 days, just a 20% chance for a stray shower tomorrow. Taking a look at your 8-day forecast, after the first cold front moves through, plunges us into the 60s for a couple of days. The second one moves through, and that plunges us into the 40s for the weekend to kick things off, and only topping out in the 60s. So chillier weather headed our way for the beginning of the new year. That's a look at weather. We'll be right back.
In 2024, nobody solved more problems than Better Call Bankin.
And if you're smart, you'll call banking.
I'm so grateful for you, so thank you so much. And yes, better call banking.
When there's a problem and nobody can help, call Shannon Bacon.
Contacting you was the best thing I could have ever done.
Thanks be to God for Shannon.
Keep those calls coming. I'm looking forward to solving your problems in 2025.
Watch Better Call Bankin weekdays at 5 on News Channel 8. Always on your side.
Oh, gotta take this.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, report it by sending in your photos and videos. Scan the QR code or visit WFLA.com/reportit.
Thousands of football fans from across the country are in Tampa for the ReliaQuest Bowl tomorrow. Michigan and Alabama are set to go head-to-head, and their fans are already getting pumped up for the big game. A parade was held in Ybor City this evening with the team's marching band, spirit teams, floats, the whole nine. Game kicks off tomorrow at noon at Raymond James Stadium.
It's going to be a good one.
It will be a good one. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight at 11. Have a great night.
We want to take a moment to celebrate all of you out there who are survivors.
Community. Commitment.
Your hands are going to be right up here on your right.
Connection. We love celebrating Tampa Bay with you. News Channel 8. Always on your side.
Warmest holiday wishes
from your #1 11 o'clock news team.